Hello again. All right, so we are talking about engagement. So I thought it might be good to look at the two. This is going to keep happening. To look at the two new things that Google has put out in the last few months. You may already be using them in your classroom, and if you are, awesome. If you're not, maybe this will be something you can do. The first one that I wanted to look at was polls. And you can do this actually in your classroom, and you will have to excuse me because this is the first time that I'm going to try and show you from a teacher's point of view and from a student point of view. We'll see how it goes. So, the one nice thing when I did my research on polls is you can actually go in your Meet and pre-select some of the questions that you would like in your polls, whether it's just for engagement. How did you guys feel about number 6 on the homework last night? Not that there's a ton of homework. How did you guys feel about today's lesson? What did you guys have for dinner last night? I'm not sure how you want to engage your students or what yours is about, but you can actually go in and plan them ahead of time. So if you do start a poll, um, you know, how are we feeling today? Or we can change that about today's new topic. And you can go in here. I believe you can put smiley faces. You can do however you want, great, okay. And you can add an option here, I'd love more. I'll just spell it first. Love more help. So at this point, you can just save it and not launch it. Then you can launch it when you're in that part of the presentation and you want it to actually show for everyone. So you can create a few different ones. I'm not saying you want to do this as like your formative assessments every time or anything like that, but maybe a nice way to kind of get them engaged. The other thing that you can do is that you can actually have everyone look at the results. So if it's how are you feeling about today's new topic, maybe that isn't one that you really wanted to do. Um, Maybe if you wanted to create a poll about, you know, what's the weather outside, maybe you want to be able to have everybody see that. But let's go ahead and look at this one. I would like everybody to see the result of this one because I'm showing it to you and I'm going to launch it. So it is live. So I'm going to try and go over here to our student view. All right. They got a little notification here. They also got a pop-up box that you can't see on mine that they actually do have a new poll and they can go in here. How are you feeling about today's topic? I'd really like some new help and you can vote. Okay. So now they can see as more and more people vote, they could actually see those votes live. So even if you wanted to ask a question in reading, um, what's your favorite character of the story, they could actually see this as it goes on, and you can continually do those as you go. Then you can trash the poll and delete it and keep moving on. Also, when you are all done with this and you actually close down your session, I'll show it to you in a little while, but you'll actually get an email with all of the results on that. So just so that you kind of have that. Now, the other thing I did want to show you, and let's see if I can get out of this. And I'm going to open this again just so you can see it from start to beginning. Question and answer. I'm not sure you guys will use this as much as maybe someone giving PD would, just because this is more of really a question than an answer piece. The kids can ask questions, but nobody can really answer them at this, which maybe you don't want them to answer. So if you turn on question and answer, you can actually, there's a whole bunch of things here, but the teacher can also ask a question, what was your answer to number 7? You might want to ask kind of different questions, but you can post it. Okay. You can then mark it as hidden so they don't see it anymore. You can mark it as answered, as everybody's good. We've already answered it. Or again, you can trash it. Um, on the student side, let's get out of the polls and we'll go to Q&A. Okay, they see that there's a question. They can't go in and answer that. They can just ask questions. The one thing that they can do, so let's say they asked a question, how is everyone feeling today? Again, not a great question to ask because not everyone can answer it. They should only be asking the teacher these questions. But if they post it and a lot of people like this question, maybe Johnny had the same question as Lisa Booz did, maybe Stephanie had the same question as Lisa Booz, they can do the upvoting so that they don't have to keep typing the same question twice. Like, oh, that's a great question, and they can upvote it so that the teacher can see that a lot of people have those questions. Now, if the teacher believes, going back to teacher view, that this how is everyone feeling, maybe it was an appropriate question, maybe not that one, but some student has put it in an appropriate question, they can delete it. You, the teacher, will still be able to see it after the call, but the students can no longer see it. So that way it is gone from their view, which is kind of nice to see as well. So again, I'm not sure how often that on the teacher side you will use this. We as the leadership and maybe doing some PD, that would be great. Um, and maybe you can use it for some of your, you halfway through the book, hey guys, what are some questions that you might have about this story for the author? And they can type in some questions they might have that we know aren't going to get answered. All right. So I pulled up my email after I closed the Google Meet and I hung up. I went ahead and pulled up my email, and this is the report I got. It took about 30 seconds or so. I got a questions poll and I got the questions report and the polling results. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the polling results so that you can see. So the poll that you asked was, how are you feeling about today's new topic? And Lisa Booz answered, I'd love more help. Now, when we go to poll 1 down here, let me scroll up. All right. So I answer this and it gives a timestamp. So in case you are doing even more polls, it will list all the questions that you had along with every answer that was kind of put through there. So I am hoping that some of this, maybe any of this, will help. The question side, what it will give you is running a report on every question that was asked, who asked it, or who put it up there. And it kind of gives you, was it voted for? It kind of just gives you some good data and feedback, and see how that get, and then if it was deleted or not. So hopefully this is something new. Maybe you can use it once or twice, maybe something just to kind of keep the kids in fun. Maybe you can put a brain break in there for a poll or something along those lines. So other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying your day.